Meteorologist Eric Gray will have more on that in just a moment. But back to that developing story that we've been following for you since we first broke it last night at 10 o'clock.
We are getting a first look at surveillance video right here where more than 24 people were rescued from what police described as a human smuggling operation. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Lisa Hernandez.
And I'm Andy Sirota. That stash house was found off Copper Ridge Lane and Raven Ridge. Police responded after a man in his underwear ran down the street yelling he'd been kidnapped. Channel 2's Vincent Crivelli joining us now live from Southwest Houston. Vince, you spoke to the woman looking for her cousin, right?
Andy, that's exactly right. The woman that I spoke with says her cousin had been missing for over 2 months. She thought he was amongst the victims here yesterday, and today she found out she was right.
Take a look at the surveillance video. Cameras were rolling when a nearly naked man went running through this neighborhood screaming he'd been kidnapped.
We got a call about a male running down the street in his underwear.
Investigators forced their way inside the home he escaped from. Inside, they found 29 men and 1 woman. The incident caused a commotion. Many neighbors looked on, and so did Andre Bacchiano.
I hope that God has saved him, and that's why I came all the way over here.
She's talking about her cousin. She says her family paid $11,000 to get him smuggled across the border, but then a Mexican gang abducted him and demanded $3,000.
You don't know, like, if they getting threatened or they getting hit.
Investigators say the 30 victims were forced to stay in their underwear and the house was locked up. If you look closely, you can see there's plywood covering the windows.
Several of them told us that they'd been held against their will between 2 days and a week that they'd been in the house.
Authorities say last night the victims were in custody of immigration, but today Andrea is all smiles.
My cousin called me from Mexico telling me that he was in the scene yesterday and he was sent back.
Sent back to Mexico, but still breathing. She says the kidnapping experience was traumatic, and now he plans to go back to Honduras.
I don't care about the money. I just care that he's alive.
And detectives say 3 people have been detained in relation to this human smuggling operation. Reporting live in Southwest Houston, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.